Okay, hi everyone. Before I go off to sleep, I think I'm going to just make a really quick video. It's something concerning what I have actually made the last time about magical thinking. Anyway, I mean, yeah, I'm very tired right now, as you can tell. I mean, like, oh yeah, I mean, it's like part of me was thinking I need to go sleep, but I'm like, yeah, I just made a wasted trip to church thinking that there was a service during this so-called Holy Week thing, because you all know that it's the Pascha season for Eastern Orthodox Christians. So, yeah. Anyway, next week, 5th of May, is actually the official Pascha Day. Yeah, Pascha. So, but anyway, just to go back what I was saying about this whole thing concerning magical thinking. I kind of realized that this magical thinking, okay, it doesn't always, the thing is this: magical thinking doesn't always replicate itself in terms of religious beliefs and everything, but it's a very, very obvious one in the case of the religious context of magical thinking. And what do I mean by that? Okay, the whole thing with magical thinking, this is very common, especially. I'm not saying that it's not existing in other denominations, but with regards to certain things like, okay, the most obvious one is actually the evangelical Pentecostal or charismatic churches. This whole idea of magical thinking, what is it? It's it gives way to a kind of superstitious idea that, let's just say that if you they believe that if they pray to God, that ultimately God will answer the prayers, and the prayers are always for very material things. Sorry, for material things such as money. What else? Money. Health and wealth. Basically, health and wealth. Sometimes it gets so ridiculous to the point that, let's just say that the person is really, really uh, terminally ill, or whoever they're praying for is really uh, dying, whatever. There is the idea that just because it is a prayer to God and God is obliged to answer everything, and then subsequently when it's not proven, uh, or it doesn't really happen, they'll start finding some excuses, okay, to account for that. Okay, the flip side of it, of this magical thinking, the other flip side which is linked to it, is actually called cognitive dissonance. What's cognitive dissonance? Is when you actually are proven wrong in something with all the facts or the truth, everything. You know that your mind is not able to actually handle that fact, that kind of fact, the fact that it is basically a lie, and to try to skirt around it and to make yourself feel better. What you do mentally is to create this kind of gymnastics where, yeah, it's literal gymnastics and word salad on yourself, not on anyone else. Basically convince yourself that the lie is actually in fact still true. And how do you do that? You do that by using certain remaining facts and what you really know to cobble up a certain kind of version of a thing. So let's say if this thing doesn't work out, and then you say, oh, maybe we have some sins, or some sins, 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 and some wrongdoings, or maybe God is trying to test us. They'll always have a reason, okay? And that's why I say, I had to say it. They'll like, they don't think I'm Christian anyway because I'm Orthodox or turning Orthodox. And but the fact is, you know how ridiculous it gets. Like, when I read one comment on this whole thing with this guy. He said, what, I prayed for my grandmother who died or was dying, and after praying, she's still dead. You get the ridiculousness of it. And I mean, I was telling one friend in the case of this, like this whole thing of why I stopped talking to some of this. I mean, I don't have an awful lot of. I have a number of friends who are in charismatic churches, but they are not like that kind, like it's in the new creation church kind, Pentecostal thing, that if you don't have you don't witness any so-called miracle or whether signs and wonders, therefore you don't have enough faith. This is the wrong kind of faith, okay? And yeah, but that friend whom I stopped talking to was basically that kind. And it made me realize that she was in a kind of like a cult, or some kind of form of cult thinking. And on top of that, she was spouting a lot of anti-Catholic and anti-Orthodox propaganda. I don't know who told her all this stuff. It basically comes from a place of misunderstanding, ignorance, and she probably heard it from some people who were telling her all these lies. And without thinking to investigate anything like the catechism of the churches, whatever. Yeah, she kept on spouting there and saying, oh, I've been in Catholic high school, I think I know. No, you don't know. You haven't read anything. You're just trying to be a smart ass ally. Okay, that's not how things go. And then when proven that her pastor was a liar, I mean he lies a lot about. There was one time he said something about 22 people being raised or resurrected from the dead. That was what I heard from someone, and it's like, what was that? Huh? Raised from the dead? I mean, this is a very bold claim, and it has not been verified. To say that and think that people were not paying attention, this is really really dumb. And yeah, so dumb. So, but the thing is, she was suffering from cognitive dissonance, and I didn't want to say it, but at the end of the day, the whole thing is this: if you are suffering from cognitive dissonance, you will not be amenable to reason. No matter how much I present you with the facts, you're gonna take the facts that I present you with, and then put up new interpretations, and then you're gonna take certain facts out of the context, and then create another alternative story, and which actually runs contrary to the truth. So yeah, with cognitive dissonance, never ever try to talk someone out of it. Okay, and the very important thing is to just simply you want to pray for them, pray and keep your fingers crossed, saying, oh God, hopefully they'll see the stupidity of all these things that you're believing in, and the fact that this is deception, this is kind of prelest. Okay, PLELEST. If not, now there isn't much you can do actually. I hate to say it, but and the sad thing is this. I mean, I know this because I was also like in like narcissistic relationships prior to all this thing with the like churches and everything. Even in narcissistic relationships, when we were in it, like you look at it from this point of view, we didn't want to believe what our friends told us about the narcissist or whoever was in our life, or we just didn't believe it. Because deep down inside our hearts, we were thinking humans can't be that bad. No, humans can be really really bad. Sometimes they believe in their own lies. Okay, and it's not just the narcissist or whoever is exploiting you. Even we ourselves, we create lies to believe in them. Because why? Because for humans in general, the truth can be quite scary, and even if you know the truth or you have heard it before, sometimes it's too hard a price to pay. The whole idea that what you have believed in is basically just a whole lie. It's like, can you imagine the whole worldview collapsing? And at the point when the whole worldview is about to collapse, you'll be thinking, oh dear, so I have believed in a lie for nothing, and now I'm just a dumbass person for believing a lie. You know how much basically your so-called pride and ego you're gonna take a blow. Okay, I'm not talking about self-esteem, because self-esteem can be built up everything. Ultimately, we can still prepare it, and it's actually for our good that we know the truth. But the whole thing that suffers is just our pride and ego. Okay, once we go through this whole cognitive dissonance, because we simply don't want to relinquish it. Okay, either one of it, whether the pride or the ego, and so that causes us to stay on in that kind of fear, that kind of it's just basically pride. Okay, but I will tell you very honestly, even empathetic people or empaths will actually experience points in our life when we go through that kind of thing. So talking about magical thinking, cognitive dissonance, it's very important that we start realizing, where is it in ourselves that we have this cognitive dissonance? Where do we actually tell ourselves lies that we think that people are not as bad, or it can't be that way, and where do we even lie to ourselves? We need to ask ourselves that. Okay. Anyway, it's really late. I'm just looking at my clock and everything. I don't know. I really have to sleep. Okay. But anyway, I hope everyone has a good night, and for those who are the other side of the world, good morning or whatever. And then I'm just gonna I need my moisturizer because my skin's getting very dry and it's not really working very well. But anyway, I'm gonna have to turn in, and then have a good one, everyone. Okay, bye bye, good night.